Okay. No, this probably shouldn't have happened. Okay, who was driving what here?
I was driving that one.
You're driving that one right here? And who was on the other one?
I was on that one there.
That's you over on that one there, okay. And you, did you see what happened here?
No, but I'm the foreman. I can tell you what happened. Would you like to know?
No, I gotta get it right from the horse's mouth. You know how that goes, eh? But I gotta talk to you in a few minutes if you wouldn't mind hanging on for me. Okay, now you guys, I gotta separate you guys, eh? So why don't you come with me and show me what happened? You stay with that constable, okay? And then I'll get to your version in a second. Would you just kind of show me what happened? Okay, beautiful.
Paul was marking the containers, the container on that forklift.
So he was marking this container right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just dropped my load, and I backed up.
This is your vehicle here? You just dropped this load? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And I bumped into the forklift behind me, this one here.
You bumped into this guy? That's the one he's marking?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then that one bumped a little, right into the last one here.
That bumped a little. Okay, so you just dumped your load and then you just threw it in reverse, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I didn't know anybody was right behind me that close.
You just basically once you drop your load, you threw it in reverse.
Yeah.
You didn't take a look behind you?
No.
No. Did anybody move your friend here after he was struck?
No, just to check his pulse.
Oh, he checked his pulse. What was the story? Any pulse at that time?
No.
No.
Shouldn't we put a blanket on?
Yeah, we're gonna put a blanket on him. Come on over here. You still got the other guy? Is he still over there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You knew this gentleman here?
Sure.
Yeah.
His name's Switzer, Paul Switzer.
Okay, I'm very sorry for your loss here, sir. I really appreciate you helping me out right now, especially. Would you mind waiting for me in the coffee room in case I have another question after I talk to the guys? All right, thank you.
I ran the deceased name looking for a home number.
Yeah?
And his record came up.
You had a record?
He's associated with a biker gang.
Oh, that's interesting.
Had been arrested for trafficking heroin a couple of years ago.
That's very interesting, isn't
Very
it?
interesting.
Definitely probably shouldn't have happened. Hey, what do we know here?
The witness is Mary Rigby. She was dating a guy. When she got here, the guy here assaulted her. She fought back, so she says.
So that's her.
Yeah. She's got some wounds. Paramedics just making sure they're not too serious.
Let's go take a look. Look at that.
He looks like he's still alive.
Forensics on the way here yet?
Yeah, should be.
Where are the lights here?
Right behind me here.
Blood all over the wall there, eh? He's got wounds all up and down the front of him.
Yeah, she really went at him.
What are her injuries?
She's got some cuts on her hands and arms.
Looks like he was standing there getting ready to make a drink, huh?
We got a crack pipe on the table here, a couple of rocks. Has she been smoking?
Says no. Says he started in on her after he couldn't get it up, then started punching her.
Nice little romantic rendezvous gone wrong.
We better get her to give a blood sample, see what she's got in her system.
You can't operate like you used to. You should have stayed in jail and done your time.
Tough a lie, man. Everything was falling apart.
Do you know who killed Will?
Yeah, one of the cops that made the arrest.
How do you know that?
I don't know for sure, but I know they wanted him at the boat. He went there, and they were planning on raiding.
What about the dope? There's half a ton missing.
I don't know. Cops probably took it.
Good night, Doy. Who am I? This is your problem. You set Will up. You're responsible.
Well, I didn't think he was gonna get killed.
That doesn't matter. What matters is I can't do business with the police investigating us.
I guess I came up and parked a little close to the other forklift.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to back straight up.
You didn't see him throw a look behind to see if you were there?
I don't know.
You don't know. What about Paul? He was directly behind you. You couldn't see him?
No, you shouldn't have been there.
He shouldn't have been there. Wasn't he marking up the containers for you? Wasn't that what he was supposed to be doing?
Yeah, I just finished.
Well, you couldn't hear him?
No, I was wearing my earplugs.
Oh, yeah, right. So, Paul, like, you knew him pretty well, too, did you?
Yeah, sure. I work with him every day.
Jeez, that's pretty tough. I'm sorry for your loss here. But that's about all I needed. If you wouldn't mind waiting for me just a few more minutes in the coffee room there, and I'd have to ask you not to talk to the other guys. Okay, I'm just trying to get some independent statements here. I'm not trying to imply anybody's involved here. What's going on up here?
I'm sorry.
That's Paul's wife.
Oh, for God's sakes, okay. You'll wait, right? Don't take off on me.
Let me go. Get your hands off of me.
Hold it.
Get your hands off of me.
Sorry, man.
Your hands off
It's
me.
okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Let me see him.
Now, is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
My condolences. I'm sorry for your loss there, but if you can just wait a little longer, I'll let you see him.
No, I want to see him now.
Just stay with the constable. What I'll do is I'll get Paul into the ambulance so you can see him in there. Would that be all right?
No, that's not all right. I want to see him now. This was not an accident. They killed him, and I want to see him now before they do anything to cover it
Just
up.
hang on.
Are these the guys that did it?
Calm down. Let's
Oh, you finally got him!
Get rid of these guys.
You finally got him! Didn't you, you bastard? You killed him! You killed him! Didn't you? You killed him!
Just take it easy, okay? Just relax. Look, okay, look. Maybe we'll go somewhere, find a place to, you and I can talk just for a second. Like, we're right in the middle of an investigation here, and I'll promise you, nobody is trying to cover anything.
Well, then let me see him.
All right, fine, go on. I'll just have to ask you one thing, okay? Please just don't touch him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold back just one corner of this here. Remember your promise to me now, okay? I'm just gonna lift up one corner of this. All right? Carmine!
You want to make sure she didn't clean up the scene a little bit before she made the call?
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, bring some luminol in there. Grab me one of my cigars while you're in there.
What do you mean you got sent here? You don't know this guy?
Not before tonight. I work for an escort service.
So what happened after you got here, Mary?
Well, everything was fine. He was all cheery and polite. And then he asked me to start, so I started. And he couldn't get it up, so he got mad. Punched me on the side of the head, and I fell down. And he grabbed me like he was going to hit me again, so I kicked him, and he backed off a bit. And then I started for the door, and he grabbed a knife and tried to stab me. And I tried to grab the knife, and I got it away from him. And then he turned to get another knife, and I stuck him in the back.
He's got 2 or 3 wounds on his chest. How did those happen?
I don't know. I guess I got him a couple of times.
What's the name of the escort service you work for?
West Coast Escorts.
Well, I don't know what we got here. Looks to me like maybe we got an accident, but then the wife's making some accusations.
What's she saying?
Well, she's saying that the deceased here was involved with a biker gang and they might have killed him because he knew too much.
Knew too much about what?
Well, she doesn't know because he didn't tell her.
Well, who was driving these lifts here?
Okay, I got the drivers. They're all in the coffee room. There's a constable watching in there. So I don't know. Maybe you want to start digging deeper into that allegation about the biker affiliations. I don't know what you want to do with that. Here's the workman's compensation guy. Maybe he can help us out here. What's the story?
Looks to me like not a major collision, just a good bump, so he couldn't have been going too fast.
But it was enough to kill the guy.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Okay, so it's like they said?
Well, more or less.
More or less?
Well, here. This guy's still in gear.
That's a problem? How?
Well, he's still in gear and the brakes on. He shouldn't have rolled back after the collision.
Unless the driver put it back in gear after the accident.
Yeah, well, he might have just thrown on, throw the brake on like I have it.
Yeah, I might put the brake back on if I just had an accident.
That seems reasonable to me, too.
Well, I'm still gonna do a full rundown on all 3 lifts. I don't like to hypothesize till I've seen the machines inside and out.
Fair enough. Okay, so we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a complicated way to go about killing somebody, seems to me.
That's what I thought. Okay. Now, the coffee room, where the drivers are, straight down through there.
All right, I'll talk to the drivers and I'll let you know.
Okay, perfect. Thanks very much. Carmine,
Yes, sir.
I ask you something? Who called the deceased wife?
That was me.
Okay, I seem to remember the last time I saw you was down on the waterfront, and then somebody called the vice squad on that homicide. That was you.
Right.
Okay, now you gotta stop doing that. You can't be calling everybody, okay? I'm the coroner, I get the first look, then we start calling people. That's how it works.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Sorry, it won't happen again.
Really? Okay, well, I'm gonna go home. Okay, good night.
You're going home?
I'm going home. I'm tired.
But okay. Somebody from the narc squad just arrived, and they heard about the deceased being involved in drug trafficking. So I guess they're interested.
Somebody from the nurse squad. They just heard about this.
It's the last time. I won't call next
I'm
time.
gonna call your sergeant. I'm gonna get your phone taken away. That can happen.
Yes, sir.
Night.
You don't want to talk to the guy?
No, Rose from Homicide's here. Not again.
Mr. Da Vinci.
Oh, Mr. Fellows, how you doing? I'm on my way to an appointment. I really haven't got time.
Well, I'll just walk with you a minute.
Okay.
You said you were going to get back to me about my stepdaughter's
Well, I'm
hidden
still
rock.
planning on getting back to you on that as soon as something happens. To tell you the truth, nothing's really happened since we last talked on this. Sorry.
Well, time's been moving a little slowly for me.
Sure that's the case.
What is it you're waiting on, if you don't mind?
Well, like I mentioned in the office, there's certain sensitive aspects to this case, but they are going to come out in time.
This is about the mayor, obviously.
Well, not necessarily about the mayor, no.
No, I've been going over the court transcripts, trying to piece this together.
I know you're a lawyer. It must be very tempting to re-examine this case.
In one of the original police statements, the car thief is saying something different.
Once you got your hands on the actual case file here, did you?
Yes, I did. And this Monty Wilson, the car thief, he's talking about a different address. I mean, he says he stole the car from East Van, not the mayor's house.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I went down to 1410 East Bibb.
Oh, you went down there?
Yes, I did. And the woman who lives there, she works at City Hall. Am I getting warm here?
You know, you're gonna have to do the math on this one yourself, okay?
No, I'm starting to think a little shove from the media will help get things rolling in the right direction.
I strongly advise you against doing anything like that, okay? At this point, this thing will start snowballing so hard, you'll end up at a disadvantage.
I'm already at a disadvantage.
I understand. If you can
You're
just,
keeping me in the dark.
look, just trust me on this one, okay? Just for a little while longer if you can. If you can. Okay.
I can get them. Oh, hang on just a second.
Anything?
You seen the papers?
What?
On your desk.
Oh, no.
Have a look. Won't have to stop ringing all morning.
Okay, don't put anybody through while you got them.
Red light proposal gets federal boost. Front of the section. There you go.
Front of the section.
See what lovely things can happen when you decide to hold your tongue.
I'm not sure what one has to do with the other.
Okay. Well, I just got off the phone with Sanjay Gohel. He's on an early flight back to Ottawa.
Oh, yeah? What about Isabel? Did she go?
I have no idea. But Sanjay says you should carry on massaging the mayor without him, and he'll make his presence felt from afar.
Okay. That's it. That's what you came here to tell me. That's it?
Yes, that, and nicely done.
Okay, thanks.
So what's the problem? Something on your mind?
I'm pretty uncomfortable still with the hit and run.
How so?
Well, if I just stick to what I'm doing and I back off, I just do what I do here, what's to stop somebody else from putting a simple math together on this one?
Well, as long as it's not you, right?
Well, it won't be me.
Look, whatever other people decide to do, that's going to be the mayor's problem. He's got Mr. Norton on his side now to look after his affairs. I'm sure he'll find a way to wiggle out of this and get back on top of the polls.
Yeah, what about the polls? How's he doing there? I haven't been really keeping track.
He's got about a 55% approval rating, but there's no real opposition on the horizon, so it looks like clear sailing for him.
Okay. I got reporters up there. Wesley. What do I do about that?
Well, feel free. Just stick to the topic at hand, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Might as well start putting them through. Hey, how you doing? Dominic Da Vinci here.
Hey, Dino.
Where's Bill? What, he's avoiding me now?
Oh, he's on a conference call with the Attorney General. He can't get free. Well, what's it about? Is there something I can help you with?
I'm 2 paychecks away from the street. I mean, what am I supposed to do here?
Oh, listen, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, I talked with Bill. We got something that might work out for you.
This better not be that security job offer, all right? I'm 35 years old. I'm a young man. I got another kid on the way. I can't be patrolling a parking lot in the middle of the night.
No, it's nothing like that. Listen, I talked to the president of the union. He's going to find you something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm back on the job or what?
Yeah, working for the union.
Okay, good.
So you go see Arnie McLeod, all right? He's expecting you.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right, it's a great job.
Okay. Hey, tell Bill to call me, all right? I'm not going to take the heat on this alone.
What does that mean?
It means you better see I land on my feet.
Hey, go see Arnie, all right? He'll take care of you.
Let go! Hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey, listen, is this a good time? I was hoping you might be able to get me in the scene today.
Oh, yeah, let's see if we can't squeeze you in.
Right.
Hey, congratulations on the arrest.
Thank you.
I appreciate you doing this for me.
Yeah, listen, don't kiss his ass, all right? Just come across all business.
Okay. Give me a good recommend?
Yeah, he thinks you're golden. I think he's alone.
Yes.
Hey, you got a minute for my guy?
This is the homicide prospect?
Right. Brian Curtis.
Sure, granted. So, Chief Detective Curtis, good to meet you. Have a seat. Thank you very much. A mutual friend here has been singing your praises. Oh, well, that's good to hear. Charlie, thank you.
You bet.
I understand you've managed to bring a couple of cold cases to conclusion.
Well, I provided a couple of leads, but Joe Finn deserves most of the credit for sorting it all out.
Joe's a good man.
Yes, he is.
You go back a long way with Joe, do you?
Yeah. Actually, he went to the academy with my little brother.
Really?
He's a good man. He's one of the best.
So what makes you think that you can cut it in homicide?
Well, I guess I think I have good instincts. I really do. I've spent a lot of time working both robbery and vice. I've attended at least half a dozen homicide seminars.
Did the escort, what's her name? Mary Rigby. Did she have any drugs in her system?
No, none. But the victim had some in his. He was pretty high on cocaine. And he'd been previously apprehended for some erratic behavior, which somebody in the psych ward, they tagged it as being a cocaine psychosis. So, you know, what she's saying jives pretty well with her story. He smoked some rock and flipped.
Oh, and he would have been smoking before she arrived and continued while she was there, right?
Right. Ident went over the scene, and the blood seemed to corroborate what her story was, too.
And she had some pretty serious defensive wounds.
It's looking pretty much as she told it.
Oh, there's a little bump in the road, though. She was previously a suspect in an assault on another client. She used to work for a different escort service, but the charges were dropped.
But you're checking that out to see what's there?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hello, McLeary.
Hi, this is Lila.
How can I help you?
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
That's okay. What can I do for you?
Do you have a few minutes?
Yeah, sure.
I wanted to give you my brother's phone number and address.
It'd be good to have.
You know, I've been thinking about everything, and I might have forgotten to tell you something about Will that might be important. His friend who called the night Will was killed is Ivan. I don't know his other name. Well, he called again the other night after you were there.
And what was that call about?
He said he just called to say he was saying prayers for Will, but then he sounded nervous and asked if the police had been around, and what did they ask, and what did I tell you?
All right. He's got something on his mind.
Yes,
Is there some bad blood between them?
I think so.
Why is that?
I think maybe I know something I shouldn't know, but I don't know what it is. Ivan just said, don't tell them about us.
Meaning him and Will.
I don't want to stay at home anymore. I want to know if you can give me protection.
You're feeling the anxiety to that degree, are you?
Yes.
Well, I know we can probably help you move to a new place, but I don't know if you qualify for protection, other than what we would normally do, which would be to put a couple of squad cars outside the house for a little while.
No, don't do that. They'll think I told you something. Anyway, I'm moving to a new hotel today.
Why don't we start by taking a little time talking about what it is you do know and why Ivan might be nervous?
I can call you from my new place when I moved in.
Okay. Sounds good. You were gonna give me your brother's numbers?
Dale Castle says from Washington, and I quote, "This red light district proposal is yet another example of Canadian policy making life difficult south of the border, and Canadians should expect a strong negative reaction to this policy of indulgence."
Canadian policy making life difficult. Kind of like that. What's that from?
Washington Chronicle.
What else is this saying?
At a time when we should all be working together to make the world a safer place, the city of Vancouver has instead decided to decriminalize everything under the sun, reinforcing their already soft reputation on everything from drugs to terror.
Hold it. Is that right? Who am I talking to? What's his name? Globe.
Yeah. Well, I can see if he's interested.
Yeah.
I don't know the names of who threatened him, but there were some of the regular guys he had to work with.
Why would they threaten him?
Paul used to work the container ships. And those guys, a lot of those guys take cash on the side to help move a container, you know.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Well, you know, a container if something comes in, And they make sure that a certain crew are the ones to handle it. Like certain guys are sent to handle a particular container, steer it to a particular place, put it on the back of a truck, whatever, get phony bills of lading. They've got it all worked out.
All right, I understand.
He was tapped to be on that crew and he refused.
And you know that for sure?
Of course I do. We talked about it all the time.
Well, your husband was arrested for heroin trafficking 2 years ago. Tell me about that.
That was a screw up with the cops. They thought that he was involved with the deal, but he wasn't. And the charges were dropped a couple hours after they arrested him. That's probably what started this whole thing.
How so?
Well, they all thought that he was working for the cops. They thought that's why the charges were dropped, because he cut a deal or something.
And as far as you knew, he hadn't cut a deal with police?
Of course not. He would never. All those guys were his best friends.
So he wasn't working with the police, and he was never mixed up with any bikers?
No, he was just a hard worker trying to raise a family, coach hockey.
Hey, Dominic.
Hey, Leo. Well, you got something for me already?
Oh, yeah, damn right I do. Hey, guess what I got on my arms test?
What, they had you down?
100%. Yeah, the instructor said I should be teaching. You should see the way I was grouping my shots. You know what the secret is?
Love to.
I went and shot snooker for about 4 hours just to tune up my eyes and the angles, you know what I mean? They said I should be teaching.
You mentioned that about the teaching.
Am I repeating myself? Anyway, I got to the bottom of your little notebook here.
Great. So what's the story now?
This thing is full of the names and numbers of various people who are under investigation by your dead private investigators. That's one of the reasons your name is in here.
One of the reasons? There's another reason?
Yeah. All the people in here, they're under the same account. Yeah, a law firm, get this, by the name of Norton and Feldman.
Richard Norton's paying people to go through my garbage?
Apparently. This little book, it's dynamite. It's full of the names of people that Norton had under investigation.
Well, like who, for instance?
Well, quite a few cops.
Well, there's a shocker.
A couple of very prominent people's wives.
No kidding.
Like the mayor, for instance.
So she's in there,
Yeah. Well, it could be a divorce action, you know. Check on who she's stepping out with. She wasn't known to take a boyfriend down there, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, there's another shocker, right? Okay, so did you make a list, or do I get the book back?
Yeah, you can have the book. I'm done with it.
Great, thank you.
So, well, what's the going rate for something like this?
I don't know, 200?
200. All right. Throw me some more work.
Yeah, walk with me.
So how'd you slip your charges?
I made a deal.
With who?
Feds.
What kind of deal?
Well, I told them that Will was going to do a big run, and that was it.
Come on, what exactly did you tell them?
That he had a boat full of weed, and he was going to make a run to the States sometime soon.
And how would you have known that? You were in jail at the time.
Well, I heard from somebody that he was getting the big harvest from the grow ops. He was buying up everything he could get a hold of.
So they would have planned to do a raid on the boat?
Yeah, I guess they did.
And that's what happened? That's how he died? He got killed in a police raid? Come on.
No. I think he was probably killed by someone trying to rip off the load.
Yeah, and who might that have been?
I don't know.
Come on, you must have been hearing some rumors by now.
Rumors? Sure, I heard rumors, but you always hear about stuff like that after somebody dies.
Yeah, so what are you hearing?
The Russians.
Okay. Do you know who? Which gang?
I know that him and Ivan were arguing over money that Ivan owed him, but I don't know if that was it or not.
Ivan. Okay. Any other policemen talking to you about this since Will was killed?
Yeah, there was this guy, a black guy. He was around asking the same questions you were.
Who was he with?
I don't know. I just know that he was on the raid with the cops.
And what about Ivan? You know how I can get a hold of him?
No, I lost touch.
Hello. I'm sorry to disturb you. My name is Leo Shannon. I'm a private investigator, and I'm working for the coroner's office on an accident investigation. And you work as a maid for the mayor, is that right?
Yes.
I was wondering if I could buy you a cup of coffee and ask you a couple of questions.
Is this about my visa application?
Are you working illegally?
I have a temporary permit.
Oh, when does that expire?
It's expired.
Well, I might be able to help you out with that, but you'll have to answer a couple of questions for me.
What about?
How long have you worked for the mayor?
6 months?
6 months. Do you remember the night he had his car accident?
Yes.
Do you stay overnight at the mayor's house?
Sometimes, yes.
Were you there that night?
Yes.
Do you recall late that night an argument between the mayor and his wife?
Yes.
What was that about?
Do I have to answer?
Well, I'm afraid that you do.
But they're my sponsors.
Well, you have to answer.
Had a great interview with the chief today. I think we hit it off.
Yeah, that's nice. But I've been hearing all kinds of bad about you, and I gotta take care of a couple things.
Fire away.
I got a couple of statements from some people that indicate you were using drugs with them.
Okay, well, I've worked a lot of prostitution files. There's a natural spill into the drug scene there. There's a couple of times I got my ass on the line, I got a gun to my head, got to establish street cred. Yeah, I'd snort a line or smoke a joint. You can't fake it. So whoever reported that was one of my informants or targets, or hell, maybe even another member if they were doing a double surveillance. You want me to take a drug test? Is that what this is? I'll take one right now.
You prepared to do that?
Sure, yeah. Hey, pass me your mug.
Okay. It's the Rick Prentice case I got a little problem with.
What's the hang-up?
You were working with him on a drug sting on someone he knew last year, and half a kilo of blow disappeared.
Yeah, that was some kind of bull with the narc squad. You know, they were trying to use some undercover guy on Rick, and it was my snitch at the time. They didn't tell me about it. So I'm working Rick, and they're working Rick with some UC, and Rick, he decides to screw us all over and sets up for the blow to get ripped out of his apartment while we're all trying to avoid stepping on each other's toes.
Tell me about the Fink Fund. Had some problems there.
Yeah, well, my sergeant, he was always busting my, trying to get me to sign up my informants. He had this thing about everybody getting signed on officially, and I'm trying to tell him, you don't understand the culture. These people are not going to put their name to a damn thing. You put a contract in front of them, they flip, right? So I kept jamming them, and these people, they need the cash. They need the money that I'm paying them for the intelligence, but they're not going to sign for it. That's just not going to happen. So he thinks that I'm paying half of the rats and pocketing the rest, you know, and then he starts denying me the cash. So now I'm on the hook. I'm on the hook. I got my snitches here, right? They got a bad dope habit. They gotta have their stuff. So I issue a C-34. I got the paperwork. It's all legit. And I bust a couple of dealers, and I start paying off my snitches and dope. And then he's back on my ass saying that I'm using dope, right? It's a vicious cycle. What am I gonna tell you?
So Lewis tells me he used to give her dope for sex.
She wishes. How many times have you heard that from a street whore?
She also told me you gave her a knife to plant on somebody.
Yeah, and she probably told you I killed somebody. What am I gonna say? You wanna polygraph me? Strap me in. Strap me in.
It's harm reduction, really. Pure and simple. Okay, look, if 50 construction workers were killed basically because they're doing their jobs, wouldn't we be trying to find some way to make sure that their jobs were more safe for them?
Prostitution is inevitable, is what you're saying. A fact of life.
You know, there's a number of escort agencies functioning in the city right now. Actually, prostitution is functioning quite well. They're licensed by the city. They pay their taxes. Everybody loves that. And to some extent, anyway, the sex trade workers, they know that the clientele's been screened. But let's face it, what we got here is a street situation that's a virtual hunting ground for certain kinds of individuals who think they can just feel free to go ahead and abuse these women in a variety of horrible ways. Our proposal has just tried to address that. We've just made safety our main concern, followed by this program of harm reduction.
What do you say to your critics, then, who say that you're sanctioning prostitution, inviting perhaps some to enlist in the trade who wouldn't otherwise seek it out?
Well, I don't think that. In my experience, I just don't think the prostitutes, drugs, are options like that. I think they're forced into the trade, and they're kept there by poverty and addiction. There's actually more options here, okay? If a red light area offers health contacts, retraining if that's desired, addiction services, which is essential.
What about the Americans' reaction to this, calling Vancouver an emerging sin city?
You know, for some idiot 4,000 miles away to pass judgment on the situation of the women here with no concept of the situation, it's inexcusable, I think.
If I print that, that'll be the story.
Kind of depends on how you choose to handle things anyway, doesn't it?
Okay, last chance.
There it goes. So you think you got everything you needed there?
I think so. Thanks for this.
Oh, great, no problem.
One more question, unrelated.
Okay, shoot.
I wanted to ask you about this incident with the mayor.
Well, what mayor incident?
The hit and run.
What hit and run now?
There was a girl, a young girl, killed. The mayor's car. You were coroner on that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Why?
I heard the Sun's going to run with a big story about a cover-up.
I wasn't aware of that.
Of the cover-up or the incident?
Who was your source on that? Who's their source?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So no comment on that then?
No comment. I got to get going to another meeting, too.
That was the mayor's office.
I had zero to do with the leak, trust me.
Well, he is absolutely livid, and Norton's on the rampage. So when you go over there, prepare to see your red light proposal strangled in its cradle before your eyes.
Yeah, we'll see.
What the hell happened?
What I think happened here, I think that the victim's father, the father of that young girl, is a criminal lawyer, and he put two and two together, like I thought, going from the transcripts from the car theft thing.
Norton certainly has his work cut out for him, then.
It gets worse.
How could it possibly get any worse?
So I think that the mayor could have killed that girl.
What?
The mayor.
How long have you known this?
A couple of days.
And you waited till after they made the red light announcement before you bothered to bring it up?
I didn't want to hang him out to dry. I just wanted to make absolute certain.
So you're certain or you're not certain? Which?
Pretty certain. Okay, the kid pretty much admitted to me he did take the car from out in front of the girlfriend's place, and he didn't check it for any damage. Okay, the damage to that car is all in the front left fender, okay? He got in the passenger side.
So he's saying he stole it after it was in the hit and run?
No, I'm saying that. He's saying that the damage could have maybe been there, and I'm thinking he's right.
Well, that's kind of a sketchy premise, isn't it?
You know what I think happened? You know what I really think happened here? I think Russ went to that party down in Chinatown, and he had a few too many, and then he went over to see his girlfriend, and then they probably had a few too many more, and then they got into a beef about something. Why aren't you leaving your wife? Blah, blah, blah. I can't take it. He gets out of there. He's not paying attention. He hits the girl. He kills the girl. And then he just freaks. He panics. He goes back to the girlfriend's place instead of handling it the right way, and that's when the car got taken. Yeah. And now the mayor wants to see me, does he, face to face?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Look, just be careful what you say over there, right? He'll have his lawyer present.
Sure. Yeah. Geez, maybe you better make a call out there to Sanjeet and Isabel. Let them know he's hitting the fan.
It's my very next call, believe me.
Hey, Joe, you got a minute for me?
I don't know if I do or not.
I just want you to know I'm not coming after you. I'm okay with what's going on. I just got a question regarding one of the witnesses against Sue.
We're skating pretty close to the edge here.
Look, I understand, all right? I just need to know how this drug counselor got into the equation. I mean, where the hell did he suddenly come from?
He counseled Sue.
Yeah, I know. But there was some kind of plea. He made the statements against Sue as part of a deal. Is that right?
We got a breakup on a sex offense, as far as I know.
What kind of sex offense?
He's getting a Hummer from some kid, got busted, started negotiating, and the thing about Sue came up.
All right. Okay. Sounds legit enough.
Now, if the meeting with the mayor and Norton comes up, you are covered if you say it was simply to explore some last-minute ideas, right? It was all about your selection to chief. That's all right? Nothing else. Norton was only there to give advice on how to handle the announcement of the appointment.
You talked to the mayor about this?
Yeah, I have one on the line now. You want to talk now?
He's here. This bastard is gonna bust my... I just know. Tell Russ I'll call him right back.
Mr. Mayor?
So? Yeah, the press has got hold of it. And they're gonna blow it right up, my friend.
It's the father, he's doing it?
It's the father. They're trying to warn you.
I had no part in it. I hope you understand that.
Well, you just better hope that you got your ass covered in this one, Bill.
I just told you I had no part in it.
All right. Well, you better batten down the hatches. This is no longer about whether or not the mayor has a girlfriend on the side and trying to cover that up. I think the mayor killed the girl.
Dominic, I had no idea. That possibility never even crossed my mind.
Well, we know now, okay? This particular mayor, this idiot, he's gonna fight this thing right to the end. He'll go to his deathbed trying to fight his way out of this one. And you gotta know, Bill, this is it for him, okay? This is gonna ruin him. It's gonna bring him right down.
Well, what does he know? Does he know you've got something?
No, and I'm not gonna tell him, and neither are you.
You got that right.
Yeah.
This is gonna be very, very ugly.
So we're gonna be talking, right?
Call my direct line.
Okay.
Hey. What? Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, I kind of surprised myself on this one. Well, you better get in there and start herding your ducks.
Mr. Marcos.
Can't talk to you people.
Sorry, I was just parking my car here and I saw you. You all right?
I'm on my way home now.
Are you aware of the perjury penalties if you make false statements on the witness stand?
I won't make any.
Is your wife aware of your thing for the boys? Huh? Is she aware of your thing for the boys? Because she's gonna hear all about it, sir. You won't be able to lie about that either.
sandbagged the wrong man.
Don't threaten me, Richard, okay? Your guy's going down whether it was me or whether it wasn't me. In this case, it wasn't me.
You didn't alert the press? You're denying that?
Absolutely, I'm denying.
Then who did?
It's probably the girl's father. You can shoot as many messengers as you want here. It doesn't change the basic fact that Russ is not going to come out on top of this one. Okay, so all you can do is just try and limit the fallout.
All right, well, look, let's do whatever damage control we can. But let me handle this. We gotta keep a lid on things. Apparently it was the girl's father that went to the press.
We know that for certain.
Well, I'm assuming that's what I heard.
You saw the girl's father?
Yeah, I did.
What did you tell him?
Well, nothing he didn't already know.
Meaning what, exactly? What kind of inquisition am I going to be facing here?
I don't know. I'm not a reporter. Look, Russ, I'm just going to tell you what I told you 6 times at least by now, okay? If I were you, I'd just come clean.
I think we've got to do something along those lines. And it would be better if it came as a preemptive strike. Now, we can still make the late news. So let's use this meeting to hash out a statement and get it out there before tomorrow's papers.
All right. Yes, I have a girlfriend. Yes, I was there that night. The only reason I haven't talked about it was because I wanted to avoid embarrassment.
Her embarrassment, not yours. And we can get your wife to agree that you have an open and understanding relationship.
She knows the script. So we better get Linda in here. Yeah. Could you track down Linda Davis for me? Yeah. Ask her to come in here? Yeah. Thank you.
Dominic, can we rely on you to say the mayor was up front in your early inquiries?
Yeah, to my knowledge.
You put a qualifier on it like that, it's going to sound like what it is, a knife in my back.
I'm not paid to watch your ass. He's paid to watch your ass.
Do you have any idea what's at stake here? Your red light district proposal is circling the top of the toilet bowl right this minute.
You know, I can just say whatever the hell I want to say. The only reason I came down here today, Russ, was to look you in the eye and tell you I didn't drop your story. I didn't drop your story, okay? That's it. That's what this is all about. I'm not part of this other agenda.
Dominic, you can kiss your ass goodbye.
Her name was Alice Fellows. Okay?
Dominic, hang on. Let's get back on side here. Jeez, Russ. You can't go around threatening people like that.
As far as I'm concerned, I was ready to come clean right from the start, but on the advice of my lawyer, which is you, I didn't. But only to protect my girlfriend and my wife.
Wife first, girlfriend second.
And as for the coroner, when he asked me about it, I admitted, yes, I was at my girlfriend's. And if he decided on his own to keep that knowledge secret, that's on him.
You have witnesses to that conversation?
We were alone, in a bar. It's his word against mine.
Fine. But I think it's better if you start eating a little humble pie. Public apology. And you can toss a little blame my way. That's what I'm paid for. And that's probably not a good idea.
Now, the pads on the parking brakes on the second forklift here are nearly completely worn, so the brake could have been on or off. It wouldn't have made much difference. Plus, it's an ancient transmission, so it's possible it could have slipped out of gear on impact and shunned it back into it.
Hey, this could have just rolled on back by itself. Are you seeing any indications of other mechanical problems at all that might have helped us here?
No, besides that, just your usual wear and tear.
Yeah.
I'm still going to recommend that all 3 forklift drivers get recertified before they're allowed back on the machine.
All right. So just to clarify then, you're not seeing anything here that's going to suggest anything but accidentally?
No, that's what I'm writing up. Poor guy just shouldn't have been standing between the lifts.
Just comes down to that, eh? Boy, shouldn't have happened.
Think he's got it right?
Yeah, I do, actually. Boy, I know one person's not going to like that accidental ruling. That's the wife. I'm not looking forward to making that call.
That's what I wanted to tell you, the wife.
What?
Turns out she was a character witness at one of the biker trials in the 90s.
Oh, no, she was?
Yeah, her maiden name is Russo. Her brother's name is Tommy Russo. He was one of the bikers that got up on the conspiracy to murder charge.
Oh, I remember that
They
case.
found him a year later in his garage with the motor running. His sister's convinced that that was no suicide.
Well, she might be right about that one, but what, did you ask her about this?
Yeah, she said her brother got sucked into the biker life, that he was trying to escape, that he couldn't quite make it out, and that they caught up with him.
Well, it just sounds like maybe she's transferring what happened to her brother onto her husband now. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't
Is that
think
what
there's
you
any
said?
connection there with what's happening here. I just thought you'd want to know.
You wouldn't mind making that call to the wife for me, would you?
Will you close my door?
Well, you got a relationship with her.
I used to run a booking agency for strippers before the bikers ran us all out of business. That's when I first met Mary.
Do you remember an incident where Mary was arrested for assaulting a client?
Yeah, sure do. That was my fault. I sent her out.
What happened?
Guy wanted to try some bondage thing. She panicked, punched him out. I think the charges were dropped, though.
That's right, they were. Were there any other complaints against her while she was working for you?
None. She was a good worker. Who's she working for now?
West Coast.
Well, they should have their license lifted, and I'm not just saying that because we're in competition. They got a rep for being careless with their people.
Really? So how do you provide security for yours?
Well, if we don't know the client, the first time I send a cover person, they wait around outside. The girl calls an agreed time once she's had a chance to get a read on the John. It's not a perfect system, but it works 99% of the time.
I followed her to the bus stop. Didn't take me long to find out she's an illegal from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. She's worried about getting caught and getting sent back, or what?
Yeah, sure she is. But do you think the mayor and his wife would have thought about getting caught with an illegal domestic?
You think this mayor seems to think he can get away with whatever the hell he wants?
Privilege is a power, I guess, anyway. She remembers the mayor and his wife having an argument that morning. She gets up early to make the coffee and the breakfast.
Is she sure that's the morning after they had run, eh?
Yeah, the morning after. She remembers she heard the wife yelling. Got a pretty nasty mouth on her, apparently. Said she wasn't going to lie for him anymore, and she thought what he did was despicable.
Oh, boy, that could encompass quite a few different things.
But she thought she heard the wife ask the mayor if he killed somebody.
What'd the mayor say?
Well, I don't know. She got a little nervous then, apparently went back down to her room, which is in the basement. But she said the wife spent most of the rest of the day drinking.
Guess I gotta go after that wife. It isn't over. Visit DaVincisInquest.tv.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making it worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.